This right here is what we call the 180 lifestyle reset system, because there's so many things in our body that is going to reset. That is going to be that complete 180 that you've been looking for. You've been going to the gym. You've been eating right. You've been doing everything, but you're not seeing the results. What we're going to show you right now with the 180 system is about massive results, so that way you can get back to your life that you want to live. And I'm just going to kind of talk about my story first. You see my before and afters here. 2020 got to me. I'll be 1,000% honest with each of you. The financial stress, the emotional stress, the physical stress, and y'all saw me probably out there working out every single day. I was working out, but my staff, half of them left because of what happened in 2020. They were afraid to come back into the clinic. And I knew that it was a sign for me to step my game up because of what needed to be done in my community. And so I sat there and I worked Monday through Saturday. I sat there and I busted my butt. But when I got home, I wouldn't go to the grocery store and I would order food in. Every night I was ordering food. Then on the weekends, I wanted to relax. And so I was kicking back some adult beverages. Saturday night, all day Sunday, then Monday I would do it again. And that lifestyle caught up to me. Weighing in at 277 pounds in August. And I don't know if y'all remember when we launched Core, this was me in that Core video. When I saw that video, something in my mind clicked and I go, you know what? I've got to change. I'm around all these people doing CrossFit right now. This is what I look like. You know, many of y'all have heard the story about my dad. I look exactly like my dad did here. It was strong with a big old beer belly, with that big old gut. And, you know, and we like to utilize that to be strong. And as I was following in my dad's footsteps, I go, you know what? I can't do this anymore. So yes, every coach needs to be recoached. I have internal medicine docs. I have pharmacists. I have, you name it. I have medical professionals that come into my clinic going, Jonas, I'm just lost right now. And I say, don't worry about it. Everybody needs a coach, including that of myself. I needed to have that look in the mirror. I needed to have that look from us launching Core to go, you know what? I've got to change something in my mind. I've been utilizing this protocol for the last 9 years. One of my patients gave me a book. And in the book he says, Jonas, we fast to slow down. We go from being that human doing. I had to be a doer. I had to have people around me. I had to have the TV on. I had to have music playing. I had to be doing something for me to be sane. What I learned about by utilizing a protocol like this is we fast to slow down. We can go from being a human doer to a human being. Many of us have forgotten that, especially what's happened in 2020. We find so many reasons to look at other things that we can be doing as opposed to just being and accepting and being present. And that's what hemp is really supposed to do. But when I was that toxic, I couldn't be. I had to do. So with my background, 9 years, we just actually passed my 9th birthday at my medical office. Many of y'all saw that. So 9 years I've been utilizing this protocol. And actually, I started this protocol back in 2011 because I wanted to do it for myself. I said, what's this big idea about weight loss? You know, and medical weight loss. This is what we call it in our clinic, medical weight loss, because we get results so fast. And I said, you know what? I've never been big on this, but let me try this. So when I did this, I had about 11 people do this protocol with me. I sat there and I lost about 24 pounds. The first time I ever did this in 2011, because I wanted to change something up. I wanted to see something different. I didn't know what I was doing with my life. I was fresh out of the NFL. I was selling nutraceuticals. And I was like, what is it that I really want to do? And so when I saw this protocol, I said, you know what, let me try this. When I lost 24 pounds, I had 10 other people, 11 other people lose anywhere from about 15 to 35 pounds with me. And I go, hold on, something's here. Then as my dad got sick, that's where I said, you know what, this has got to be the game changer. This has to be me going out and doing something different and becoming someone different than the footsteps that I was following within my dad, being an ex-professional football player, and then utilizing that as my token, as my lifestyle. I said, no, you know what? I need to change this. And so what we do in my office is we focus on what's called functional medicine. It's the same thing we do here in Prime My Body. It's a 3-step system. First, we detox. Then we want to rebalance the body. Then we can build the body. So many patients come into my office dirty, sick, toxic, and they go, oh, hey, you know what? Let me start taking this so I can go to the gym. And I go, hold on. Let's detox first. I'm sitting right now in a high rise. When they build high rises and skyscrapers, they have to build so deep into the ground. We need that structural foundation. Then we come up to the street level. Now we can balance everything out. Then we can start stacking brick on brick. What most people try and do is they try and build a skyscraper on muddy water. Guess what? You're never going to make it past the second story. Everything's gonna move, the wind's gonna blow. It's just not set right. There's no structural foundation. Well, what is hemp? Hemp is one of the best detoxers and rebalancers in the world. But if somebody is 10, 20, 50, 100 pounds overweight, sorry, but one nutrient isn't gonna help heal or help the body heal itself because the body is too toxic. So what we wanna do is we wanna detox the body first. As we detox the body, a lot of it can rebalance on its own. That's what hemp does, right? We bring the body back into a state of what we call homeostasis. Then from there, we can build. If it's mood, if it's sleep, if it's energy, if it's muscle, if it's fat loss, most of the times you get them taken care of in the detox and the rebalance phases. Building is then easy. That's the easiest part if we do the first two structures correctly. Then from there, we can focus on aesthetics because people are gonna see you. They're gonna see that visual change in you. This right here is the kicker, and that's where Knox can come in, and we're gonna start hearing a lot more about Knox. So who are we? Who are we now? We're that new trifecta is what I wanna call it. We're the triple storm that has come. Look at how beautiful those bottles are. The Vibe, I love that, Vibe CBD weight loss, this is amazing. So now we become a company that has the trifecta or the triple threat. We're now visual, consumable, and emotional. Right? We were always consumable. Some people had that emotional feeling. Some people go, oh my goodness, I really feel this. But it was really hard for them to portray that. And then we'd start talking to people about sonicated liposomal delivery with the nanotechnology. And that would go over entrepreneurs' heads. That would go over business people's heads because they go, I don't know what that is. I don't want to learn an entirely new language. So what we have now is visual because how many words is a picture worth? 1,000 words. When you guys start to look at some of these before and afters I'm going to show you, they're going to be 1,000 words, nice and easy, because they're going to speak for themselves. This is going to have people calling you up going, what is it you're doing? I want to know more about this. I'm in. I've been feeling bad. I've put on my COVID-22. That was the average weight gain in 2020 that came from the APA. It was about 22 pounds per person was the average weight gain over the year 2020. Because guess what? We were all in the same boat. We all had those same stressors in life. And so I want to talk to you about some of the obesity statistics now that we're looking at some of this. I love these top 5. More than 1/3 of adults in the US are obese. Are you serious? But how about this? Another third are considered overweight. So 36.5%, 32.5%. You're talking 69% of people are overweight or obese. So that means if I go outside, I line up 10 people, 7 of them need this protocol. 7. That makes my job so much easier. That makes my business grow so much faster. What are we doing as adults? We're teaching our children. 1 in 6 children are considered obese. 1 in 6 children are considered obese. Obesity is linked to more than 60 chronic diseases. Think about the chronic diseases and illnesses in your family history. Is it heart disease? Is it diabetes? Is it cancer? Is it dementia? What's going on in your family? Can that curse stop with you? Or are you going to continue that curse for your children and for your grandchildren? This is what we have the opportunity to do right now. Don't be another statistic. And then your waist size is a massive increase risk for diabetes. Think about that. As we start getting bigger, this really starts happening. So here was something that was really recent, just on CNBC. 78% of people that were hospitalized for COVID were overweight or obese. So these are all just perfect statistics for you to look at to go, you know what, there is something. I thought there was something there in the obesity. I thought something was different. And so as we look at our products that we're launching, how beautiful is that? The Vibe, vibrationally charged CBD fat burner. Vibe is meant to protect the muscle and go consume the fat. And we have a very specific protocol for this. So many people come to me and go, Jonas, just tell me what I have to eat. Tell me what it is I have to do. That's where Vibe comes in. That's where this protocol comes in. Then we have some other products that are going to go along perfectly with it to help set everything up for you specifically. Let's start going into some of these before and afters. If y'all don't know Veronica Kelly, oh my God, she's amazing. Veronica lost 17 pounds. What I really want you to look at with Veronica, and I don't want to say this, the results are unique to each individual that you're going to see here. Veronica lost 17 pounds. Women, what do women have? If we look at her backside right here, we call that the muffin top, right, ladies? None of us want the muffin top. and you see that what we just did was trim everything up. This is what happened in 30 days. Just look at the belly. Look at the protruding of the belly. These are things that we can change in a matter of 30 days. Okay, sign me up. Now, how about this? We got Wendy. Wendy's one of the coolest. Wendy Robbins, she's one of the coolest ladies on earth. When you look at what Wendy was able to do, she lost 14 pounds, but I want you to really look at this. She lost 44 inches. Because what's gonna happen on this protocol is you're gonna see that body fat drop, but we're also gonna see the lean body mass go up. We're gonna see that muscle mass go up. We're gonna see the bone density go up. And so it's not just about the weight. What we wanna look at really is the transformation that's happening within the body. This is the big idea that we're coming to. Just look at her pants. It looks like from the backside, her pants are about to fall off. She went from being inflamed to being nice and a picture of anti-inflammatory. That's what Wendy was able to do. Just look at her face, look at her chin. When you really look at that, the face, the chin, the neck, the décolleté, all that starts to lose really good. And then you just look at the belly and it's like she's deflated now. How about Josh out of Houston, Texas? Josh, one of the big boys here. Josh lost 33 pounds in 30 days. How huge is that? And that's why I love massive results, not just results. I want massive results. Lisa Heaton, she crushed it. Vegetarian. Her and Wendy are both vegetarians. Vegetarians, they gain weight too. Vegans gain weight too. Okay? Too many times we start eating too much sugar and we're not having that proper balance that this protocol will bring back to your life. We see that she lost 20 pounds. You just look at her before and after as well. This is a former Miss USA. And now she's back to herself again. And she calls me up and goes, Jonas, I've never seen a protocol like this. She's a nurse as well. She teaches people about being certified within the hemp industry. And she goes, I never thought this would work. She goes, thank you, thank you, thank you. So if you think that you know everything and something's not there, when you start to look at this protocol, it's everything. And we finish right here with Dr. Darren. Dr. Darren was probably the biggest skeptic. Yes, you were, Dr. Darren, and he knows it, and he'll say it out there. Look at his formation just from the side view, how big the belly was, and just how it continues to get smaller and smaller within 30 days. Dr. Darren has a big machine in his office called an InBody. It checks all the body composition. So within his first 10 days, he goes, guys, I lost all fat and zero muscle. Tell me more about this. He goes, I thought that this was the biggest sham, but I was going to sign up for it to debunk it. But y'all have made me into believers. He lost 4.9% body fat in 30 days. That's more than 1% per week. That's how fast this works. I mean, just look at the gut, look at his posture even, because he's not being sagged down by the chest, by the belly. Now he can sit back and stand taller, stand stronger. This is what we're bringing to each and every single one of you. I want you to look at the costs, typical costs associated with obesity. This is a Mexican restaurant here in San Antonio. So I'm just going to tell you what I would eat. I'd go in. I always like a good chips and guac, chips and queso. Chips and queso is probably my favorite. Get a little beef fajita in there, $13.90. I get a plate of enchiladas, 3 enchiladas, because I'm a big guy, right? And that's what I'm used to. Oh, I'm a big guy. So let me get the 3 enchiladas, $22.95. You know what? I just want one drink, $15.95. What's the total of that? $52.80. I tip typical 20%. That's an extra $10.56. I just walked out of that restaurant spending $63.36 for one meal in my day. Several of us can be very, very similar. Let's just say you didn't even have a margarita. That's fine. You're still at about what, 40 bucks that you spent within one meal. I'm going to tell you all this right now. This protocol is going to run you about $15 a day. I just spent $63 in one meal. Now let's look at this. It's not just about the foods that we eat, although it is, because that's a breakfast, that's a lunch, that's a dinner. Those are snacks. And what do? Once we kind of have that domino effect. Once we start eating something bad, well, let me eat this bad. Let me eat this bad. I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, so it's happy hour. And we go down that protocol of life just to where we never get to reset. That's what the 180 is all about. It's let's reset. Now, as we go down these paths and you start getting those medications in life, I want you to start looking at the medical cost. Insurance for a single person averaged $448 last year in 2020 per month. You multiply that by 12 months, that's $5,300 $376 for the year that I'm spending on my insurance. Then I have to go to the doctor's office. I have a doctor's copay. Average is about 15 to 25. We'll put 20 bucks here. Then you start looking at medications that we're on. 44% of Americans are on at least one prescription medication, running about $78. 20% of Americans are on 4 or more medications. Okay, so think about what that number starts to add up to. The average deductible per year, what you have to pay out of pocket before your insurance actually kicks in, $5,000. Think about that cost. Obesity costs Americans $147 billion each year. Do you think there's a business there? Do you think we can provide the American people, the entire world, with an answer? Absolutely we can. We are the answer. We are Prime My Body. So let me finish on asking you some questions here. Let's just think 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. What will your life look like if you don't change? Think about that. What does your health look like? What do your children look like? What are your grandchildren? Are they going to have their grandparents here? That's a great question. What's that family history of disease that you might have? I always ask questions when we have live seminars, and I say, how many of y'all have diabetes in the family, have cancer in the family, have brain illnesses in the family, have cancer in the family? Almost everybody raises their hand, and I get so upset because they're going, oh yeah, oh you have that too, and they're very nonchalant about it. And I said, y'all are happy about this? How can you be happy about and not care about this? This needs to stop. And this is what we're doing as Prime My Body, is we're stopping these diseases. We don't want the body to continue to go. We need to learn how to fight this, because the human body is the best pharmacy in the world when given a chance to heal. Now that we detox it, now that we rebalance it, and we start to build it, this is where we start the healing process. Who's really paying the price for you to be unhealthy? Again, let's go back to your kids, go back to your grandkids, go to your family. Think about them. They're the ones paying the price because you're being selfish on what you're putting into your body. So I really want to ask you, on a scale from 1 to 10, how serious are you about losing weight right now? Because I can tell you right now, if you're not a 10 or above, this protocol isn't for you. We're looking for people that are a 10 or above, because we've seen this, we've utilized this with over 100,000 people. This protocol works. Adding CBD to it, that is the kicker that makes this work even better. So this is what we're bringing to the table as Prime My Body. If you're not, I ask, are you on a scale from 1 to 10? If they would say 12, 20, and I go, you know what, go back to GNC, because you're not serious about this. We're looking for people that are serious about this. We're looking for a community that wants to get better, that wants to elevate everybody, that wants to celebrate and empower our global family. That's who we are. That's what we're bringing, because the community is the biggest part of this program. When we can open up and we can air our business out, that's part of the detox. Maybe you were abused as a child. Maybe you went through a divorce. Maybe you went through a breakup. Maybe you have PTSD from an accident. Think about when you started gaining weight. Think about you hiding from the public eye. This is what we're bringing to the table as you think about your why. Why do you start doing this? Because that community is everything. Now I want to talk to y'all with our Black Diamond lead marketer, Mr. John JT Taylor, because he went through this protocol. This was him saying, you know what, I got to change something in my life, Jonas. And I said, JT, if you change this, and you can change, JT, because you're everywhere, but if you can change, everybody else will change with you. And JT, just wait until you hear his story. So here's what I want everybody to do. Turn your life around in 30 days. This is the 180 system.